Sunday Morning Words, welcome. Namaste. Om. What is the consistency of God? What does God mean to you? Every speaker for centuries has been offering this question. And your mind goes, oh no, not again. Not another one who knows God. Does God exist then? What does it exist as? Is it really a concept, an idea? Is it really something that we have imagined or the mind has created out of its seeking, its assumption, its wondering, its inquiry? What actually exists? What actually exists? We take everything for granted. (2019). What have we achieved? What have you achieved? See? Let's look more at it in a personal way. What have you achieved? You see? Are you going to produce your CV now? And say, well, when I was 9 I did this, and what have we achieved? Let's look at it in a bigger picture for now. What have we achieved? In a spiritual way, we have ignored the traditions of religion, the monks, the Vedics, the Buddhists, the Druids, the Pilgrims, the Greeks, the Israelites, the Bible. Before that, we've ignored it. So many saints in the past. Let's not use saints. So many beings in the past have said they have experienced truth. They have witnessed the most majestic thing. And yet we simply choose to think we can do it better. We can see more. In the future, God will actually come out in front of every one of us. Because through our exploration, through our science, through our religion, we are intelligent beings. Yes, we accept the Buddhists, the Vedics, the Upanishads. We accept that, but you know what? They're old-fashioned. They're stale. Our mind is far more advanced. And that's the problem. Mind will not show you what you already are. There's God. Let me reveal to you, let this speaker reveal to you, that whatever your perception is of God, whatever your perception is of the Almighty, you are far more important. You are far more important. Because unless you know yourself, this Almighty, is not going to open the door to Omega body, Omega mind. So no body and mind, whether it's soul, body, form, body, or one of the thousands of bodies that lies on top of and within you, will experience a God. If there is a God. So the whole purpose is to look and find something interesting within yourself. What is interesting within yourself? Who seeks God? You. Who wants to know anything? You. Who is important when you open your eyes in the morning? You. Who is the most important at the meeting, at the training session with hundreds of people? You. Who is the most important at the satsang hall? You. The minute you put the importance on the guru or any other being or any other thing, you have taken your eye off of yourself. The moment you take your eye off yourself and you either acknowledge or worship or give attention to or think this one is more intelligent or superior, you take another backward step. And then you have to come forward again. Okay, yes, I know, I'm sorry. I took my eyes off myself. I took my eyes off myself. Who speaks? How many? I? Are you I? So you're I, okay? I took my eyes, so I has eyes, of myself. So I is now self. Yeah? The eyes are the connecting point between I and myself. I took my eyes off myself. So the I that looks for myself has to be the fraud I, the fraudulent one, the mind one, that only understands the God, the Vedanta, the past, the future, the time, the living, the human, the earth, the planets, the universe, all the identities, boring, boring, boring identities that keeps you from seeing self. The I that looks is mind. The eyes that the connecting point is this fake world. So this fake world is going to take you, your eyes, to the fake world. Yeah? The eye that looks is the mind. I took my eyes, was only concerned with the world, my eyes. This is what my eyes perceive. This is the connecting point between my eyes and the whole world. I took my eyes off myself. Who's myself? Me. Very simple, basic human language. In a simple, basic human way, I took my eyes off myself. I stopped looking at myself to acknowledge everything else that was going on in the world, including the Buddhist monks, including Christianity, including Upanishads, including Ramana Maharshi, including Mooji, including Eckhart Tolle, including the Satsang Hall, including the planets, including the universe, including the thoughts, including the ideas, including the concepts, including the past, including the future. All of that got in the way of myself. You understand this? And mind says, but what am I going to find in myself? I am just a human being. Yeah? More eyes. More eyes. More part of the world taking your eyes, looking at the components of the human body of yourself. So as a human being, you sit there and you go, well, okay, how do I find myself? How do I look at myself? If I'm not this body and mind, which everyone says, how do I know who I am? You're inquiring with the eyes again. You're asking the speaker, you're asking the world, you're asking the satsang hall, the guru, the teacher, you're asking them all, what do I do? What do I do? Now it's back to I, you see. Now it's the mind that's inquiring. What do I do? You cannot remove the eyes. I, the mind, took my eyes. You cannot remove the world and the eyes until you remove the eye that looks with the eyes. You understand this? So the whole sentence, I took my eyes off myself, has to be reduced, dehypnotized. To get rid of the eyes, I have to get rid of I, the mind. And what remains is self. Yeah? But it's not an intelligent way of looking. It's not a teacher class way of looking. You have to experience the eyes and the I dying. So which mind goes first? Which eye goes first? Is it the eyes that see the world? Or is it the eye that perceives through the eyes, seeing the world as the eyes? Well, it's very simple. When your body goes to sleep at night, the eye goes and the eyes will also go. The one that perceives the world goes because the eyes also go. So it matters not in which path you take. To remove one eye is to remove all eyes. This God that you hope to meet or hope not to meet is simply in a human way an imagined concept, imagined thing that appeared from a word, from a sound, from an idea, from a concept, from a belief, from a hope, that when something dies, something has to take place. So you'll never ever meet God while you're in a body, because that's the idea. You see, the idea and the concept is, it's a nice way of saying goodbye, farewell, it's okay, God's going to look after you. So in that way, hope and belief should be removed. It should be removed. Well, I'm not going to meet God till I die, so that's fine. So I be as well just getting on with his life and having fun and not really addressing any questions or anything about what I may experience in this human body, because the only thing really worth experiencing is God. That's what a religious mind says. So when something inside you stirs and says, I need to find something far more important in this world, your mind will take you to God. And then it will say, but you won't find God, because your body and mind has to pass and die. So what's the point? You see? Which I is saying that? But the most important thing is not about God. It's about what your stirring inside says. There must be something more interesting. I feel something is saying there has to be some sort of purpose, some sort of interest, some sort of meaning, some sort of inquiry, some sort of, I need to find something that makes me feel as though I have achieved a world, a peace, whatever it is that you're that the stirring inside says. What do I want? If I want to find happiness, I'm not going to find God till the body dies. Mind says that. So mind says, let's take him to happiness. So mind is doing its job, taking you to happiness, or whatever it is you look for. That's interesting for you. That makes you feel worthwhile. That it served a purpose. I've served a purpose being here in the body. So mind is taking you to the truth and saying, okay, inquire. Where are you going to find it? And then you pick up the biblical books to say, well, it must be somewhere outside of me, because God has always been suggested as up in the skies, in the heavens. So everything else must be up beside God, because I feel what I'm inquiring for is very close to this feeling that I have about this God that may exist. And that's the whole misconception. If you're not going to find God until this body dies, then you don't know where to look. Don't look up in the skies. Don't look within. Don't look anywhere. It's impossible. But past information says God's in the skies. So the external route is the only route to find anything worthwhile in this body. That's what your mind says. The most interesting that you will find is yourself. The most loving that you will find is yourself. The most only important thing that you will find is yourself. When you inquire about yourself in preparation to meet this God, whether it's when the body dies or whether it's before the body dies, is of no importance. To prepare when you go to the wedding, you don't know where you're going to be sitting at the table. You don't know what the bride is going to look like. You don't know what the groom is going to look like. You don't know what the speech is going to be like. You don't even know what the food is going to be like. So your only concern is preparing, dressing up, putting on your dress or your suit or your kilt or whatever it is you wear to a wedding. So the whole object is to get yourself looking nice in preparation for meeting God. But you think it's your body, this I, and this world is the way of being the most beautiful in the wedding, but there's no wedding taking place. There is only yourself making yourself ready. It matters not if the wedding's called off at the last minute. You have so much joy in doing your hair, dressing up, putting your lipstick on, men putting the aftershave on, whatever. And that's the human way. It's the same in your whole inquiry of this purpose of being in a body and a life. The whole inquiry is to find who you are and dress yourself up. Who are you? You're not I. You're not the eyes. So if the eyes and the I go, there's no world and there's no body, because the eyes are part of the body and the eyes are needed to see the body. I took my eyes off myself. You will find true love when you actually meet yourself. True love. More than any being, more than any saint can love you. More than any partner, more than any child can love you. This love is a human love, and it's beautiful. But the love that you find of yourself, for yourself, as yourself, within yourself, when you meet yourself, is adoration, absolute. And there may be a mistake that, oh my God, if God is as beautiful as what I am, the one inside, I'm not going to be able to even lift my head and look at this God because I am so beautiful and in love with myself. The only important thing for you and your life is to know yourself, is to be at one with yourself. And to be at one with yourself, you have to remove every single obstacle and hurdle, including God, including death, including body. You have to deny everything, every thought. You're not denying anything physical, you're denying the thought. There's nothing important in the satsang hall except myself. The minute you worship anything external, you're going to have to take a step back. But it's okay to take a step back. You just have to take 2 steps forward. And then you realize, I don't move really. I go 1 back, 2 forward, 2 back, 1 forward. I'm always in the same place. I'm not even moving in this world. I'm before movement. I must be still, but I'm not still. So I'm not still and I'm not moving. What am I? What am I that is not stillness, not moving, not participating in this human world, not this body, not this mind, not this experience, not this life, not this being, not this human? What am I? This is not a game of who am I. You will only realize and find and know God once you know yourself. God will not open the door for a doubter, a believer, or one that goes, ah! Because you have to know God before you can experience God. And when you know God, you'll know what to expect. So you will be prepared for the wedding of God immaculately. You'll be there at the right time, at the right place. You'll do the right things. You'll eat the right foods. You'll say the right things. But your body and mind will not be speaking. And God will not be speaking. And the you, that self within, will not be speaking. Because what is there to say beyond shock, words, eyes, world, space, universe? What can be spoken between the beautiful, most loving thing that exists, yourself, and this almighty mirror that reveals you? You see? You've completely forgot about the mirror, like you do when you look at yourself in a mirror. It is about the one that looks in the mirror and the reflection of the thing that is seen, an image of you. The mirror is simply ignored, passed aside, and not taken serious. The minute you look in the mirror, you'll see a version of yourself as what you are. Beautiful. But without the mirror, you won't see anything. Not even the mirror.